Happy Wednesday, everyone. Let me start off by saying that I apologize because I look a hot mess. I've had about 50 hot flashes today. I've been sweating and trying not to get the sweat on my eyebrows. I just got them microbladed and they can't have any water, liquid sweat, or anything like that on them. We got invited this past weekend to Comicpalooza, and we were there on Friday and Sunday. Friday, we did an actual live podcast. And tonight, we're going to show you guys that podcast where we talked about the influence of people of color in comic books, fantasy, and sci fi. Uh, Needless to say, we had a great weekend. We hooked up with a lot of other local podcasters. I'm going to forget their names. I know their names, but I can't remember the name of their shows. I think we've got Walker the Geek. We've got the Bri-Fi. Producer James, come on now. You know I rely on you for situations like this. Come on, you're moving slow. You're moving slow.
So we had the Cult 45.
Colt 45. Colt 45.
Bri-Fi.
Bri-Fi.
Walker the Geek.
Walker the Geek.
And finally, Ramblings with Rob.
Oh, Random Ramblings with Rod.
3 hours show.
Those are my boys. We did a podcasting panel on Sunday. I was the only girl. I felt right at home with them. Learned a lot. They're cool people. Follow them on social media. Go to YouTube and check out their podcast. And hopefully we will all be hooking up soon and doing something collectively and something funny because they're all really, really funny. They know a lot about comic books, but I don't know if my audience is really their target audience, but they're hilarious. Anywho, what you're going to see tonight is not going to be the Libra Lounge with Keisha show, but it is going to be the show that we did Friday at Comicpalooza. It was funny. You're going to hear some of the audience members participating and talking. You're going to see R2D2 get a hard on. That was pretty funny. We want to give a special thank you to Classic Bar by Sherry. Remember, right now, you can sign up for bar classes at the studio at Femme Fatale by going to the Mind Body app. That will give you Sherry's schedule. Bar classes are $10, but if you mention the Libra Lounge with Keisha or just Keisha, you will get $5 off of that. Bar, if you have never taken a class, you've always wondered about the class, look it up. There's so many benefits to taking bar class. You will sweat like you have never sweat before, but you will feel so great when you leave. The endorphins will be pumping, and Sherry is the sweetest teacher. She's so patient, energetic, positive. So check her out. We want to give her all the support that we can. So if you are in the Galveston County or Harris County area, go to Femme Fatale, which that's where the studio at Femme Fatale is housed inside of, and check out their classes. They also have a membership for just the studio at Femme Fatale that is $89, and they offer 14 classes. That's a mixture of step class, bar class, and yoga classes. So Classic Bar by Sherry, you can give her a call at 281-678-8037, or like I said, you can go to the Mind Body app. We hope you enjoy this show tonight. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to the Libra Lounge with Keisha podcast. I'm your host, Keisha. This is my trusting sidekick / person who I share a house with, and he helps me pay bills.
Helps pay bills?
Yeah, you help pay bills.
Okay. I thought I just paid them.
Okay. For some odd reason, Comicpalooza decided to invite us to broadcast live here today. And then when we get here, I'm told that my show has to be PG-13. I don't do PG-13. I do XXX. But for the kids, I'm going to try to keep it at least PG-16. That's going to have to work. That's all I can do. I can't do anything else. So okay. PG-16 is going to have to. He's given me the fingers. These fingers.
The 1-3.
The 1-3. So I was trying to look cute today, and I decided to bling everything out with all my rings. And my daughter's like, "You look like a black Thanos." So if I snap my finger and you're gone, sorry about it. Sometimes it just be like that. So today we are discussing. Let me see if I can remember, because my daughter she came up with the topic. The influence of people of color.
Heroes of color.
Heroes and sheroes of color in comics, fantasy, and sci-fi. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. So I
which
know.
the host should know, but
Well, you
it's
know,
okay.
I really feel that most people, the only thing they know about heroes of color is literally "Welcome to Wakanda." That's it. You would have thought that we had just actually gotten off the ship in America because people just were like, it was an explosion of black people when Black Panther came out. Like, we've been here a long time. We just finally got our own superhero film.
Well, and that's not actually true.
Okay, it was the first really good one.
Ah,
All respect to Blade.
okay.
All respect to Blade.
Can't forget Blade.
Speaking of Blade, you know, when my husband tells people that he's married to a black woman, he always says she's Wesley Snipes black.
Pretty much. Pull a tax return if you're not sure how black she is.
Okay, so my husband is a
Right.
total comic book nerd. He knows everything. So is my dad. So of course I would marry someone who's just obsessed with comics as my dad is. So basically I'm here to bring the cuteness. He's here to give you all the facts. And I'm
works.
just going to have, you know, a comedic commentary to go along with all of it. Now, mind you, he did give me everything that I needed to know, but he doesn't tell me what to do. So I didn't even read it.
I never tell you what to do. As soon as I tell you what to do, you say, "Don't tell me what to do."
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, don't tell me what to do. Okay,
Okay.
so start spitting some facts on these people, okay? And don't embarrass me.
Okay, so when you said that Black Panther was the first really good black superhero movie,
Uh-huh.
you did give respect to Blade.
Yes.
But here's a few others. Maybe people know them, maybe they don't. Cause,
All right. I'm willing to bet someone who's actually in our audience, who's from the same town as us, knows all of this stuff.
probably so. What's going to be interesting is the year some of these came out. Some of the people here may not have even been born.
The majority
these
of them
happened.
are not. It's
Okay.
Kids' Day. So
So we'll start. First one, the Meteor Man.
okay, so Meteor Man, was it one of the Wayans or a comedian? Who was
Was it Tommy Davidson? I think played. Was that right, Mike? Who was it? Pete Townsend. Thank you.
What?
Pete
Where
Townsend.
is he
Well,
at?
Robert Townsend wrote it
We all know Robert.
and starred. That's right.
It's Robert
It was
Townsend.
Robert.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So for any other black people here today, which there's not a lot, 5 Heartbeats. You know Robert Townsend from the 5 Heartbeats movie.
All right.
Okay.
So just to throw this out there because it was pretty timely at the time. Meteor Man's heroics. He shut down crack houses.
Oh boy.
And he made peace between the Crips and the Bloods.
Wow. If that is not stereotyping, I don't know what stereotyping is. So we get a black guy, we give him a superhero costume, right? But he's instructed to only get rid of crack houses and bridge the gap between gangs.
Well, I mean that was a problem in South Central LA.
And he was in
everyday.
South Central LA.
Okay. Next up.
Okay, next.
The following year, 1994, was Blank Man.
Oh, that was kind of horrible, wasn't it?
That was really horrible.
Now, that was one of the Wayans brothers, right?
I think that was every Wayans brothers, even
yeah,
like
because in
even
the
like
90s,
fetuses.
yeah,
like
in the
Wayan fetuses
90s,
get jobs.
if you were black, you were related to the Wayans.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like literally 20 of them. They're kind of like roaches. Like
Yes.
if you see a roach, it's probably a Wayans. Okay, so we had Blank Man.
So Blank Man was, I think he was a character sort of inspired off Living Color.
Right,
I think.
because I believe he was on in Living Color a couple of times.
Oh yeah, I think it was.
So for any of the young people out here, Jennifer Lopez was a fly girl on In Living Color.
And Jim Carrey was on TV.
Oh, that's
in
right.
Living Color.
Yes, he was. He was quite funny.
Yes. Okay. So then we get into like some actual.
No.
really-
Go back.
Okay. I'll
Go back.
Sorry.
Give us a breakdown of Blank Man because I'm starting to sense a pattern here. I'm willing to bet Blank Man had to basically fight crime in, I don't know, an urban neighborhood, perhaps?
Yes, it's pretty safe to assume
Okay.
that. So he was a socially awkward yet brilliantly clever repairman.
So this was in the 90s.
So basically a janitor.
Was he
Smart
was
janitor.
he an autistic janitor?
If you
It
watch
said
the show,
socially awkward.
yeah, he might have been on the spectrum. I'm not
Yeah, I'm sure my husband's
think.
on the spectrum. He hasn't been diagnosed, but I diagnosed him. He's on the you're on the spectrum. We'll
Yeah,
talk about it later.
You're probably right.
Okay.
Okay, so
Blank Man.
1997 is
Okay.
a landmark. That is Spawn. Todd McFarlane's Spawn.
I have not
movie.
seen Spawn. Is Spawn the one with Michael Jai White? It's not Michael J, right? It's Michael Jai.
It's Michael Jai Abs is who it is.
Oh yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's fine. He hasn't been in anything in like a long time, but he was fine for the role.
He was in Black Dynamite.
I don't think I've ever seen Black Dynamite.
Okay. Both the movie and the animated series on Adult Swim. So.
You know I don't watch Adult Swim.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so Spawn was the first, like, I think, really big budget black superhero movie.
But it didn't do very well.
It didn't do all that well, but it was still really, I mean, I loved it. I was a huge Spawn fan.
Of course you were.
Yep.
So, you know, I can remember having conversations with my dad, and he was just like, you know, there's so many comic book characters, and he would always list out the ones that he wanted them to develop a film about. And he actually said, isn't this just like a typical old black man? I hope I'm here to see the day where, you know, that we have a movie. So thank God he's still alive.
No.
If you're watching Daddy High, because we're actually recording for our podcast, we made it. We made it. And
So-
I've made it how many minutes without saying a cuss word? 10.
Yeah,
We're
10.
doing good.
That's
We're
so
on
far
a
so
roll.
good.
Yeah. Okay.
So break in 1998 is
Yes.
the big one. That is Blade 1, the first Blade.
And let me tell you something. Blade 1 is one of those films. I mean, okay. I don't think it's fair that we still associate Blade 3 with the first two. Because Blade 3, I feel in my heart that out of prison, a little bit older, a little bit darker, Wesley Snipes still has one good Blade in him. At least, I mean, I know Blade has to have a little kid out there. I think the next movie needs to be Blade searches down his kid, kind of like he did Whistler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And teaches him how to, you know, take over.
Kill vampires.
Yeah, because we can't go out like that. That third one was just horrific.
Yeah.
I mean, they had Jessica Biel in it. Oh, I'm Whistler's daughter. He didn't know about me, but I know how to kill vampires too. And, you know, who's the guy? They had Ryan Reynolds in it. That was good.
Well, we had Triple H.
We had Triple H in there.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't say much, but, you know, then we had the vampire dog. The vampire Pomeranian was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was probably the best thing about Blade 3. It was horrible.
So the part that I checked out completely was when Jessica Biel was in the back of the car putting together a mixtape, and Ryan Reynolds says she likes to make mixtapes when she hunts. Ugh.
It was just bad. It was bad. You know, Ryan Reynolds wasn't even well known at that point.
Yeah, let's just say
it was
uncostumed
awful.
Deadpool was basically what he played there as well.
Okay, but we started off with Blade 1. Now, how accurate was the movie to the actual comic book?
Fairly loose. I mean,
Okay.
some of the origin story I think was pretty accurate. But I mean, Deacon Frost was a character. It was somewhat loosely based.
But it was a really good movie. So
It was a good movie, yeah.
even if you'd never heard of Blade from the comic books, you really would enjoy the movie still. It had great action in it. Wesley Snipes threw in a little bit of, you know, he's Buddhist. So there were some Buddhist aspects of the film in it. But it was a good movie. Then we went on to, so that was a big breakthrough as far as major movie studios
Right.
giving a pretty good budget after Michael Jai White messed it all up in Spawn, and we got Blade.
Yep, and then Blade 2, which was
Blade 2 was good as well.
well, I think people actually say Blade 2 was probably the better of the first two.
It was. It
You know?
was. But
I mean, that was
you know,
Guillermo del Toro involved.
Right.
That was, you know.
yeah. So Blade kind of opened up the box for everyone. Like, okay, so here's a black superhero. But in all actuality, is Blade technically a superhero?
Yeah, absolutely.
You
Why
think
wouldn't
so?
he be? I mean, he has powers. He fights, I mean, crime in a way.
Okay.
I mean, I'd say he's kind of like the anti-hero. He's kind of
Right.
like in that same vein as Punisher, for
Yeah.
example, where they do really awful things to people, but
Yeah.
you know, he's brutal and dark, but still kind of a hero.
Did you
still
say
root
he
for
was
him.
dark because of his skin tone?
I didn't say that. You can't put those words in my mouth.
Now, I don't have
I
big
like-
numbers here, but I see a couple of black people here, and I think we could take you down if
Well,
we
I'm
all
sure-
band
well,
together.
Well, yes, I'm not allowed to fight back under today's rules.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay,
Fair enough.
so
Moving on.
moving on from Blade. So that was what, 99?
Well, that was 98, and then 2004 was the last one. So we don't really get another kind of, I guess, equally important character probably until Nick Fury shows up in the MCU.
Right. So I heard that when they were actually developing Nick Fury for the role, they didn't know who was going to actually play the character, but when they were drawing it out, it was Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, actually, so when they made Marvel Ultimates, Mark Millar was one of the artists, and they actually drew the Ultimate version of Nick Fury to look like Samuel L. Jackson. So kind of like they'll do with Simon Pegg and Garth Ennis in The Boys. It was just made to look exactly like that.
Okay,
that
time
actor.
out, everyone. Stop sounding smarter than me. You're the co-host.
Sorry.
You're going way too far.
Okay.
Bring it back a little bit. Make me look smarter. That's your role.
That's a Herculean task I gladly accept, and we'll see what we can do.
Is that a big job right there?
That's a huge job. That's about as big of a job as getting a Blank Man sequel greenlit.
Or for me to make it through this whole podcast PG-13.
Exactly
but
right.
We're doing okay.
All right. So Nick Fury, of course, major part of the MCU. I think at the last one we'll say
is he a superhero though? No?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say superhero. He's kind of like, lack of a better comparison, probably a bit like Batman in that he doesn't have any superpowers, but he's still a badass. He's still very important.
The
he's
white
still,
person, because it wasn't me, sir.
Have you seen a PG-13 movie lately?
No, of course I haven't.
Okay.
No. So let me see. So Nick Fury really is kind of, how do you get the job to be over the Avengers?
You're a super spy. You're excellent at what you do, and that's the way the writers want it. So.
But he hasn't had his own film.
No, and I don't think so. If you were to do a Nick Fury film, you probably have to pick up one from when he was a lot younger. There's been tons of comics about Nick Fury, some even as an older fighter.
Right.
But I mean, you'd have to do a complete one shot of just Nick Fury. Anyone else kind of overshadows him a little bit. If it's a hero.
Did he die in this last Avengers movie?
Yes.
Like dead?
Well, no. I mean, spoiler alert. I'm sure everybody here.
Well, I know.
He got snapped.
Turned into dust particle. Yeah.
He got snapped. So he came back. They fixed all that.
So he's not dead.
No, he's not dead.
Okay,
dead.
gotcha.
He's also fictitious, but he's not dead. So
whatever. You know what I mean.
That's cool. So leaving film for a second, we get into 2016 brings you Luke Cage on Netflix.
That was a big booty white girl that just passed by.
Oh. Was it like that distracting?
Yeah.
Okay.
She had a dunk on the back of her. Looked like a reindeer.
This is ADD podcast, folks. Welcome to it.
It really is.
Enjoy.
I'm like a baby squirrel, just like
exactly.
All right, moving right along.
So Luke Cage,
okay,
on Netflix, which unfortunately, pretty much all the Netflix shows are now completely canceled. I was holding out for Punisher, but they're all done. I mean, once Disney got all the properties, they pretty much don't want the competitors making money off their properties, I guess.
Makes sense.
So Luke Cage was considered groundbreaking because it really, really, really dealt with actual black culture. It dealt with Harlem. It was very, I'd say, probably very tied into the community, more so than the other stories and characters had been before.
Okay, so I don't get this. So you have Tony Stark. You've got Iron Man.
Yes.
Iron Man kind of protects anybody, no matter of your location, no matter of your coast, right?
Well, if he can get there.
Okay, so why is it that all of the superheroes of color are stuck like in these really urban, like Harlem and South Central, like, are they not allowed to rescue Hispanic people?
Well,
Asian people? Is it just all about the community? Because it really makes black superheroes look very selfish.
Well, as soon as they say here's a superhero of color based in Akron, Ohio, it's going to be pretty. It's not really compelling, I guess. Unfortunately,
Mike, write that down. I think we can do something with that. I think we can.
The Akron assassin.
I think we can do something. We can do something.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna the whole point today was not just African American,
No,
but
of course
also
not.
women, minorities. So what's interesting is when you look at Hispanic superheroes, there's only really been a small amount that we might consider superheroes or
Right.
close to it in film. Danny Trejo, of course, played Machete.
And I'm going to
Which-
assume that he just saved people in Mexico. I'm just going with the theme.
I think you got it. Yeah, you got us there.
That's what
Yeah.
I thought.
And it was from I think cartel members.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he wasn't-
even though they're giving us all movies, they're still stereotyping us.
Yeah, I think at one point he protected a Home Depot parking lot too.
Man,
but
ain't
I'm
that
not-
some
I'm-
shit
is that-
right there?
Keisha.
Yeah.
Mark it.
Don't look
20
at me.
minutes.
Don't look at me.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That was
okay.
it. Don't look at me.
Okay.
Okay,
we're very
PG-13.
sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So then, so let's talk about Antonio Banderas, who played two heroes basically. He played
Puss
Zorro.
in Boots.
Well, okay, Puss in Boots. You got me there. Zorro and the El Mariachi, from Desperado.
So again,
I'm seeing your pattern
only
you're going for
working
here.
in the vicinity of people with brown skin?
Well, Desperado took place in
Mexico?
Mexico.
Okay.
And Zorro took place in California.
What
still
part?
The part that was owned by Mexico. So
Okay.
yeah, I get your.
Alrighty.
Okay, so here's one to throw a kink. It wasn't in the movies, but Gabriel Luna played Ghost Rider in some of the recent seasons of Agents of Shield.
Okay.
He did a really good job. That was actually probably one of my favorite Ghost Rider incarnations. I mean, compared to Nicolas Cage, we don't really have a lot, but.
Ooh, don't you dare say anything bad about Nicolas Cage.
I know she loves Nicolas Cage.
My mama loves Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
We will both beat you. I think she will fight you.
She probably
over
would.
Nicolas Cage.
Probably so.
Yeah.
So he did really, really well. And here's what's ironic. So in Into the Spider-Verse, which was the animated film that just won an Academy Award, Spider-Man was Miles Morales, who is supposed to be Hispanic, but he was voiced by Shameik Moore. If you know who that is.
What is he? Shameik sounds Arabic.
Well, no, he's not Hispanic.
Okay, what is he? He's
what?
Afro-Latin? Oh, the
no,
character is Afro-Latin?
Oh.
Person who's not on mic and shouldn't even be talking to us?
Our intern wants to throw a little bit something in here, so sorry.
Okay, so the character was... I thought he was Dominican.
All right,
or
anybody
Puerto
in the
Rican.
crowd, what exactly is Miles Morales?
Afro-Latina?
He's Latina. Okay.
She was
Thank you.
correct.
Okay.
Okay.
All
right.
But again, I mean, it's good that they actually used a different Spider-Man than Peter Parker. In fact, Spider-Verse, of course, had almost every iteration of Spider-Man in the universe.
Have they had a gay one?
Let me think. Question for the crowd: has there been a gay Spider-Man? Well, I don't. It's not a matter of
hold on.
Has to be.
I'm just piggybacking off what he said. He said in the Spider-Verse, he's been female, correct?
Well, yeah. I mean,
he's
Spider-Girl,
been different.
Spider-Gwen, Spider.
Right. So
I don't think it's a matter of has to be one. It's just interesting.
I would love to see someone who is gay in a Spider-Man costume.
You just like cosplay.
That's made in the rainbow colors.
Oh.
I think that'd be cute.
Well, that would be rough because every villain would see him coming from like a mile away. Like it's hard to fight crime being that visibly fabulous.
Well, and if he was flamboyant, he'd be like, "I'm Spider-Man. I'm here to save the day.
So would his webbing shoot glitter? Is that
Probably so.
God, okay.
Yes.
All right. Enough. Okay. Enough.
Now there have not been, as of right now, any Asian superheroes.
There's been characters. So you had Agent Zero from Wolverine Origins. Of course, when you go into Asia Pacific countries, there's a lot, but I'm drawing a blank on any real mainstream in America, leading front running Asian superheroes. I mean,
I wonder why.
I don't know if there's a reason why, other than there's not a ton of them in mainstream comics.
Right.
I mean, for a long time, the only one I knew of was Sunfire.
And I've never even heard of that
who's
character.
a Japanese mutant.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot more, but...
So, let's just talk about what everyone knows as far as superheroes of color. I mean, I was shocked that my own mother went to the movies by herself to see Black Panther. I mean, it was just like, I don't know, it was like an explosion of black people at the movies.
Well,
You know, okay, so we go to the movies a lot. We love going to the movies. But during that whole time frame when Black Panther came out, we would sit in there and, we would be eating and talking. And I'll be like, oh, there's 5 black people. I wonder what they're seeing today. Bet it's Black Panther. So, okay, a lot of people don't understand. And I was explaining it to someone that people of color, we've had to watch television, watch movies where we don't see a lot of people that look like us. We just don't.
You're on the wrong channel.
I'm sorry, TV1, BET not included.
Okay.
But we don't see a lot of people that look like us and who are superheroes. So this was amazing. This is something that my parents didn't think that they would actually see. And
well, the other part of it, I think that was important to them was it was Black Panther, but it wasn't Black Panther in Los Angeles.
Exactly.
It was very.
Now there was a section of it where
Well, I know, but the smallest
but it was
part.
in Wakanda, and it was the seeing the royalty. It was seeing the women who were the bodyguards. That was something powerful for us. That is something that I was excited that my kid was able to see, that you can be a black superhero and not just be, in one of the wards or, the ghetto, rescuing that, stopping crack deals and telling people they can't sell their mixtapes at the Kroger and stuff like that. This was great. It was Wakanda. We had our own country. We had something that no one else had.
For a while, let's be honest. I mean, there was a lot of African culture. I thought it was a good mix. What's that? So I can only list so many. But Falcon's a good one too. But again, Falcon's kind of a supporting,
right?
Unless he gets his own movie. Well, I know
he's getting his own film.
Well, he's Captain America now.
Oh.
How about Shaquille O'Neal and Shaq Fu? Oh no, we mentioned Blank Man and Meteor Man.
You missed that one, yeah.
Yeah. Shaquille O'Neal is should be forgotten for everything except basketball,
and including rapping. He was a rapper.
Repairman. Oh my God, I remember Repairman. It was from Blank Man.
Oh, Blank Man. Yeah. We talked about
Who's
that one.
Repairman?
So when we were talking about those movies, we kind of noticed there was a theme that if you were a black superhero, you were only saving black people within a black neighborhood, basically,
of location.
So Wakanda was very worldly, and we had. I said because I'm Wakandan half on my daddy's side. I'm Wakandan on my daddy's side. Okay, don't be hating.
Sorry.
So we were royalty. It was great. It was beautiful. Everyone looked like me. That was something that we just don't see unless you're watching Roots. Well, but I mean, that's just a little bit. That's not fun. Watch Roots. So this was great.
Well, M'Baku sure looked like you.
Okay, now I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I was excited about seeing Black Panther, but I really went to see Michael B. Jordan with no shirt on, wet, with a gun, with dreads, licking his lips and stuff like that.
PG-13, Keisha.
That was PG-13.
I know. I'm just warning because every time you mention Michael B. Jordan, all of a sudden I have to hear how completely insignificant I am as your husband.
That has nothing to do with Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
You're insignificant whether Michael B. Jordan was alive or not.
Okay.
That's a personal issue. We'll talk about that when we get home.
Gotcha.
So, it was good. And for me, really seeing those females protecting, royalty,
cool.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, because I'm sure there's going to be a part 2 to Black Panther.
Oh, yeah. They got another $1 billion to make for sure.
So, do you guys remember that one scene where T'Challa, he goes to save what's his little girlfriend when she had the refugees and they were trying to get them somewhere and it was dark?
Yes.
I'm gonna need them to have some better lighting in a scene like that. Okay, because look, I appreciate the fact that what's her name? What's her name?
Close
her.
enough.
She's dark. She doesn't need to be in an all dark atmosphere.
It only works. Yeah, that dark only works for Game of Thrones. When
Is anyone still half blind from watching that one episode of Game of Thrones where you're like, "What's wrong with our TV? Why is it so dark? Let me take off my glasses. Like there seems to be like a film over my glasses or something like that." It took me a couple of days to recover. Like my eyes are finally back able to focus. So back to what I was saying. I'm sure there's going to be a part 2 to Black Panther, but it was so surprising because a lot of people who went to go and see the movie had never even heard of Black Panther. They'd never read the comic books. They didn't know any of the history. I'm sure you did. Is that R2D2? Oh, yeah, it is R2D2. I thought I heard the little sound. Hey, R2D2. What's up? Are you coming over here? Come on. Come on. Welcome to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. Isn't that cute? Look, my mama's single.
You're a second-class character. Just
my mom's single. She's looking for a good man, you know, a man that's been about something. I mean, you down?
Did you just wait?
He's down with the cocoa.
Did you just offer your mom a robotic boyfriend?
Like, we got to do something with her. I'm going to give you her number, okay? I think I'll be done here by 5 o'clock. I'll give you her number. I'm going to give you the digits. That's going to be my new stepdaddy, y'all. All right, so back to Wakanda.
Well, okay. So we've covered minority a little bit.
Right.
Last few years have been also the year of the female.
The female,
when
yes.
It came to superheroes. Mm-hmm. I mean, of course, Wonder Woman. You can't ignore that for sure.
Now, I enjoyed Wonder Woman, but I have to be honest. I could have watched the whole film. Could have been about the Amazons for me.
Yeah.
I mean, they stole the movie. They stole the whole show. They were just I can't cuss. They were bad. I can't say I can't fully. Is that a monkey on you, sir? What is that? It's a what? What is it?
Did you say dragon? Oh, okay.
Oh, so it's not real, is it? Come get in front of the camera. I want our audience to see that.
You're at Comic-Con. You're asking us if things are real. You do know where you're at, right?
Can I touch it? Will it bite? Oh my God, don't do that. Jeez, that's really cute. But how is it moving?
Magic. It's magic.
It's really cute. Well, thank you. Say hi to the Libra Lounge audience.
ADD podcast, folks.
Okay, I'm sorry. Someone's walking around with a furry bat on them. I'm sorry if it got my attention.
Fair enough.
My bad. All right, so let's go back to female domination.
So.
Continue.
I'll try.
Okay.
So lately we've had.
I was talking about Wonder Woman. My bad.
I know. Yes.
I'll let you come back in.
It's okay.
So yes, the Amazon women were just fascinating to me.
Yep.
And I don't. Okay, so I have to be honest. I did not like the fact that Wonder Woman left behind her people to. I can't even say the word. To chase after the D.
Yeah.
Because that's what she really did.
No, she went to help the realms of men and women, went to help the world. It just so happened that was there too.
She saw that man's thing when they were in that little, it looked like a salt room, where he was taking a salt bath.
The grotto?
The grotto.
Okay.
She saw it, wanted it, and followed him to basically another realm.
We also have Brie Larson who plays Captain Marvel. Okay. Now, so we've had a few very strong female characters. Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, Zoe Saldana playing Gamora. Now, Evangeline Lilly playing Hope Pym from Ant-Man and the Wasp. We got to talk about Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn because I remember being here at Comicpalooza the same year that Suicide Squad came out, and there was literally 457 Harley Quinns.
It's some here today, but they shouldn't have on a costume.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
You can meet her after this broadcast, folks.
Do they not make that costume in plus size?
They do.
Well, some of the people that I've seen should have got a plus size.
Okay, well.
That's just my opinion.
Moving on.
I'm looking out for them.
I'm trying not to get hit after this.
Okay.
So, let's see, who else? Kristen Ritter, Jessica Jones. Another Netflix
that was on Netflix, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was the first Netflix Marvel series, and probably one of the best ones, I think.
I watched a couple episodes. Okay. I wasn't impressed, but
well, here's one Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That's my girl right there.
So question: Christy Swanson Buffy or
Totally
Other
different.
Buffy.
Totally different.
Who was
You
other
cannot
Buffy?
compare them at all.
Why not?
They're totally different. Mike, thank you.
Okay.
Completely different. Buffy was a valley girl, and it took her a while to really embrace her powers, or whatever it was, or her training, or whatever. No, you can't compare that one movie to the whole series. It's different. Each one has their own little cult following.
Okay, I'll tell you one of my favorites of all time.
Okay.
Was and I'm gonna butcher her name, Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah.
Who when she played Hit Girl in Kick-Ass 1,
Which was he
more so
cussed
than 2.
again.
No, it's
but
the name of the
okay.
movie.
So let me ask you a
Exactly.
question. If I attach my cuss word onto a movie title, is it gonna be okay?
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna try to make up stuff.
Kick-Ass, Puss in Boots, Badass. Okay, all right, well. Anyway, she was what? I think she was 10 or 11 when she
was
played
really
Hit
young
Girl.
because she's
And
still
she
young
was,
now.
And it was, I loved it. It was brutal. She said she cussed completely. Like it was
Right.
really true to the character. At least the first movie was. Second Kick-Ass, kind of got a little messy. Not so much. But she was probably one of my favorite female characters in a while.
Now, you were going to say something about Harley Quinn.
Well, out of that whole movie, I don't know how many people here were Suicide Squad fans, but out of that whole movie, I think probably she was one of the, best cast, at least, maybe, unless I'm going to get some, Will Smith was great.
Will Smith was great in that movie, but I will say this.
So Black Deadshot,
yes,
which was really weird to see, because Floyd Lawton, not that in the comic books.
I'll say this about the movie Suicide Squad. Great action, but I honestly felt like a group of high school theater kids said, you know what, let's write a script.
Well,
and that was the script for Suicide Squad. It was not great writing, but the action,
was good.
Was great.
Story was okay.
It was a little shaky. That you kind of left there with a couple of questions. Like, okay,
really did.
Wait, why was that character even in there? What?
Some of the characters, the characters that were good were great.
Yeah, Will Smith did a phenomenal job in that film. Yeah,
I thought. Yeah.
Who did?
No, I thought a few of the characters carried it. I mean, Will Smith,
Jared Leto, Jordan Catalano.
No, not just. So, all right. So,
Mike, don't do me like. Don't.
So
okay, look.
We may have to do
we have to
which
agree
Joker
in
is best,
front of
I
him.
guess.
When he turns, we can disagree. You got it? Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
You didn't like him as a Joker?
Man, I don't know. I'm. What's that?
Who's supposed to be the next person playing the Joker? Is it going to be a black person?
No.
No?
There's no black Joker, I don't think.
Well, there's no.
Yeah, Joaquin. Yeah, so Joaquin Phoenix is playing him.
That's right.
In kind of the origin story,
Okay.
I guess, which will be cool to see how they handle which origin story they use.
Right.
If it's the one from Alan Moore, or if it's some other thrown together one. Was it Alan Moore that wrote The Killing Joke? Yeah.
So do you think that, with the huge success of Black Panther, which they actually got nominated for 1 or 2 Academy Awards?
Yeah, I think they were talking. What if we did for Best Picture? And I'm like, now you're pushing.
I don't think it was Best Picture worthy.
That might have been pushed.
If there was a category for most entertaining, perhaps, but not best. I mean, they lost clearly.
Oh yeah.
Say that again?
They got cool. Yeah.
Was it for costume and
costume makeup? Yeah,
okay.
that's right.
Which
it was great.
Yeah.
I mean,
the costumes were fantastic.
Are we a little
okay.
hot? Better. Okay. Oh, was it?
We did that on purpose.
Can y'all hear us now? right here. Kind of, sorta.
Yeah. Can you turn it up just
a
little
bit more? I mean, she is loud, so okay.
Testing.
Better? Can y'all hear us good? Okay, cool. Okay.
Well, I guess I can't,
now
sing
project.
before I go.
Sorry.
I know. I can be just as loud without the mic on. So, okay. So, going back into the theme. Okay. So, we clearly need to get some Asian superheroes.
I think we do. I think it's now. So now, which one? And hey, we'll take audience suggestions. I'm actually kind of for the Amadeus Cho version of the Hulk. I'd kind of like to see that.
I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Of course not. They do, and this is for them, not for you.
Do y'all know what he's talking about? Okay,
Thank
so
you.
tell us about educate the people.
I don't know a whole lot.
Okay.
I just know that
You said an Amadeus Hulk.
no, Amadeus Cho is the
Cho.
is the boy, and then he became the Hulk. I do not know the exact way that he did, but I know he's been somewhat well received. I think so far.
Okay, when did that come out?
It's been about 3-4 years now. I think he's been.
So
they needed to change. The Bruce Banner thing is kind of. They just needed to change. They changed everything. I mean, they made Thor a girl.
yeah. Now
For
let
a
me
while,
ask you. So you said that it's an Asian Hulk.
Yes.
So when he becomes Hulk, does he look different?
Yes. He has way better hair.
He has,
Way better hair as Amadeus
does he
Cho.
look Asian?
A little, yeah, a little bit.
Explain to me exactly how.
I can't explain to you
Hulk
how Asian looks without getting in a lot of trouble.
No,
I really can't. My hands cannot touch my eyes to do this.
Thank you, my love.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, there you go.
Well, yeah. Oh,
He's handsome.
Okay.
He looks kind of like a K-pop singer.
He really does.
He does. He really does.
So my 16-year daughter is all about K-pop. Thank you. Okay, so they changed his hair to look a little bit more Asian.
Well, and his face a little bit too.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. All right.
So,
what about Indian?
Okay. So if you remember, if you guys are old enough, remember the Super Friends. Remember Apache Chief was his basically power was he would say was it Inukcha, and he would grow and get big.
That's the only Indian superhero there's been?
No, that's not the only one that there's been. There was also was it Warpath, who was part of X-Force, Marvel World. Probably a few others. I know Jonah Hex had one or two Native American allies. But
now let me ask you a question. If for some odd reason Stan Lee sent a message from above and said it's time to have a plus size black female superhero, like me.
man,
Describe how it would be.
I think you just did.
What kind of superhero would I be? What kind of powers would I have? How would my costume look? My makeup,
strap
my
in,
hair?
folks.
All right, here we go. Now hold on. Say that again.
A
Do
Pixie
you
Hulk.
think that's all I need?
A black blob. I mean, you could do a gender
Did
swap
he say
blob.
blob?
No, there is a character called the Blob.
Did it look like a blob?
Well, he's a big fat dude.
That would be
you could
more
you
your
could do a
thing,
gender
right?
swap.
Not
Well,
mine.
I'm just saying you could do a gender swap blob for a
I don't
villain.
want to be blob.
You could do let's see. You could do yeah, you could do She-Hulk, but she's always green. I mean, you have to have a black Hulk.
That's kind of funny because I dated a guy. Never
was a
mind,
She-Hulk?
it's PJ-13. No,
Okay.
no. He said some of the stuff I did reminded him of the She-Hulk.
What, smashing things indiscriminately?
Exactly.
Raging out for no reason at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all me.
All right, that makes perfect sense.
Is that
then.
Huckleberry Finn?
No. Oh my God.
What is it?
No, it's
it's
no.
anime? Oh, okay.
No, that's Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece.
Did anyone else think that was Huckleberry Finn?
Nobody at Comicpalooza thought that was Huckleberry Finn.
I did. Okay.
Nobody.
All right. Okay, so what kind of
I'm sorry, which
superhero
person looks like a Charles Dickens character you want to call out? Since we're dealing with, like, old literature.
Hey, black people, hi. How are y'all? Our numbers are increasing as time goes on. They heard I was here today. Yeah. Okay, so if I think that I should shoot bullets from my breast. Or maybe shoot webs from my breast.
What the hell are you?
I'm trying to be a superhero.
Well, that's actually scary. Like, I don't think anybody would want to be saved by that.
I'm sorry.
Like,
if
it really wouldn't be.
Really?
No, it's like if I'm falling from a building and you throw your chest at me and webbing comes out.
You're gonna be glad you got saved, no matter how it happened.
I'll take the payment. Thank you.
All right.
I will take the payment. I will take death. Sorry.
Would anyone else allow me to rescue you if I were a superhero and webs came out of my breast? Ooh.
What's that?
Spider milk.
Spider milk.
I like that. Come get you some spider milk, man.
All right, Keish, we got 2 minutes left on the broadcast. Tell them
right.
who we are,
So
who you are.
We are the Libra Lounge with Keisha. I'm Keisha. This is Producer James. You can watch our show on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We go live every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on Facebook.
Facebook, YouTube, iTunes, TuneIn app.
all that good stuff.
Yep.
If you listen to us on iTunes, make sure to give us a 5-star rating. Even if you got to lie, it doesn't matter to me. Just give it to me. Our show is comedy based. We do a lot of celebrity news and gossip, and we have guests that come in. We've had guests such as
Cynthia Lee Fontaine from RuPaul's Drag Race.
We've had porn stars. We've had politicians. We have had wrestlers on the show.
Reality
authors,
wrestling folks, if there's any fans
reality TV stars.
Yep.
We've had Mike on our show. He is our pop culture expert.
Oh my God! If you want to know anything about
anything,
a teenage pro program, Mike is your guy. From the 90s.
From
yeah,
the
exactly.
90s,
yeah.
yes. He knows. It's kind of scary.
It's
very impressive
it's disturbing.
How much he knows.
It's absolutely disturbing.
Yeah,
it's not
so
scary.
We also have Libra Lounge merchandise, such as the tank that I'm wearing, which says "I speak fluent petty," because I do.
Yep.
You can check us out. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Send us a message if you have any show ideas or anything like that, or if you want to be on the show, call us up. We'll let you come on in. So I think that's it. We will be back on Sunday here at noon with the podcast panel
for the solo podcast panel. So
yes.
doing a podcast as a solo person.
Actually, I think I'm like filling some kind of minority quota for them that day because I'm the only female. So
it's not the only one.
Oh, whatever.
Alrighty.
Okay, I hate him
folks,
so much.
Thank y'all very
much.
much. Have a great day.